What's going on, leather fans? So today is the first video in my new series. It's called 5 and 5. What does that stand for? That is 5 things I like and 5 things I do not like about a certain bag. And actually I'm going to probably do this on the entire collection. So we've got several weeks worth of video coming up for you guys. So like I said, this is the first one in the series. 5 and 5 is what I'm calling it. So you guys let me know in the comments if you like this series, if you want me to continue it. I'm probably going to continue it anyway. And let me know which bag you guys want me to do the 5 and 5 on next for the second video. So today, hey, you know what? Let's talk about water bags. Probably my favorite design from Saddleback Leather. I wish I could use these things every day. They are just really spectacular bags. So as far as 5 things I like, that was pretty easy. 5 things I don't like, took me a little while actually to come up with that, but I've got it. And if you hear a piece of paper, it's my list. I always do these videos just off the cuff, just off the top of my head, whatever I want to say. This one, I did have to write a list, so bear with me if you hear that paper. The first thing about water bags, whether it's the large, like this tobacco one, or the chestnut, or the medium, like this one right here, they have a huge capacity. It's actually very deceiving. You know, you can get a week's worth of clothes, not shoes, but clothes in one of the large for 2 people. For a solid week of vacation or business travel. That's really something, because you look at it and the bag isn't very large, or it doesn't seem large, but it's got a cavernous capacity. And the other cool thing, kind of piggybacking onto that, is even if you just fill it halfway, because of the way the straps are, you can fold it down and have the water bag fold right here, and it's still it's still the same water bag. You're using a really cool piece of luggage, and even though you're only using half the capacity, or even a third or a quarter of the capacity. So that's kind of cool that it is that versatile. The next thing that I really like about it is that it can be turned into a backpack. Now the medium has a provision to be turned into a backpack, much like the briefs, like this little guy right here. It's got the ring right here, so you take the actual shoulder strap and run it through here and through the rings that are down here. Look at that patina. Sorry. And we all know how to do that with our saddleback briefcases and messengers. A little awkward, but it does work with the medium. So you're probably saying, nomenclature, you can't do that with the large. Well, yeah, you can. If you use one of these cinch straps right here, which is what I call them, and this has the tank straps on it, which are just fantastic. And you can see how pretty that tobacco is. So this can be turned into a backpack, and it's actually very comfortable. I think probably just because it's just flat, and I carry this thing really high, and it's the most comfortable that way. So once you load one of these things down, it can 30-40 pounds easy. It can reach that kind of weight. And with the tank straps, whether it's a tank or on one of these, the heavier the tank is or the water bag, the more comfortable these straps are. I know a lot of people don't like these and they complain about this and that, but they're actually very comfortable if you've got some weight behind you. So let me see if I can get a little bit more of that. So there's the tank straps on the large water bag. So yes, the large can be carried as a backpack. The next thing that I like, number 3, is these things are show stoppers. You get the bellman to come get your luggage, and this is your luggage. Always gets a comment. People at the front desk, comments. Other guests in the hotel that you're staying at, comments. We all like to be asked about our leather, right? I light up when somebody says, wow, what kind of bag is that? And it's usually the same questions, who makes that? Where did you get it? And people are people. And some will ask, how much does something like that cost? And I always tell them they're not, well, I didn't pay that much for these. I know these things are stupid expensive right now. But yeah, we all like that attention that this leather gets, and like I said, I really light up. And if you start asking me about leather, you're gonna be there a little while because I just love talking about these bags. And number 4 is the different modes of carry. So we can wrap it up like this, where it has this handle, or this can be folded down on top of itself, and you can use this handle that comes with it. Or again, we can put it in backpack mode. So we've got 3 different ways to kind of carry this thing. And then the last thing, okay, number 5. Can't really read the what I wrote. My handwriting is really terrible. I have the handwriting of a doctor. So we're gonna have to come back to number 5 when I figure out what I've written on here. Oh, I know what it is. This is the really cool thing about water bags, whether it's the medium or the large or even the small. I don't have a small, but they all have one thing in common. Well, several, but one main thing. This is actually made out of one piece of cowhide. So it takes an entire cow or most of a cow to make one of these. It's one solid piece of leather that's seamed and stitched. That's really cool for one main reason, especially on things like tobacco. The color is all the same. The whole bag is made up of that one piece of leather. It's all the same, rather than having, the side pieces like on some briefcases. So this may be like a really light color, and this will be a little bit darker, and maybe even the one on the other side will be a little bit different shade. Those kind of things bother me. So, but with this, like I said, it's one whole cow. So that's really cool. And of course, there's not that many seams on here, and it's stronger and all that good stuff. We've all been fed that by Dave, and I certainly believe it. All right, guys, let's move on to the 5 things I don't like. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I had to dig deep to figure out the 5 things that I don't like about this. So, number 1, the first thing that I mentioned that I like is the cavernous capacity. And that leads us to the first thing that I don't like is the weight. These things do get very heavy. Like I said, 30 pounds, that's no problem getting these 30 pounds. 40, maybe even 50 pounds. It's quite a bit of weight. Even in backpack mode, it's a lot of weight. But the one thing, when I travel, I typically don't carry it. There's people that carry it for me. Not that I have an entourage. It's, the bellman at the hotel, or I don't travel with these if I'm going on an airplane. There's no way I would ever check these in, and I can't imagine trying to handle one of these, as a carry-on. I don't think you could do these, but the medium maybe. So anyway, the weight. It can get up there very quickly. So that's kind of, it's just a byproduct of the design, because it does hold a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. The second thing that I don't like, and this is something that it's more of an observation, not really something that I have experience with, but I imagine that, especially, traveling, public place, people see these, it's probably at least an eye catcher for thieves. I mean, you look at this bag and think, wow, it's probably an expensive bag. There's probably expensive things in it. So I know nobody ever leaves bags unattended, but I certainly wouldn't even let this really, I'd have to touch it all the time. I wouldn't even, set it down next to me. I'd just be afraid that it's just too tempting, too enticing to a thief. Now that may be just me. I don't have any sort of experience with anything even remotely close to a theft of this type of bag, but it's something that I worry about whenever I do travel with these, especially if I'm in a public place. Third thing that I don't like about the water bags is that if you open it up, it's just one big compartment. It would be nice if there was some sort of compartmentalizing on the inside of these bags, or something maybe sewn on the inside of the flap, where you could put, I don't know, things like toiletries or even a pair of shoes, or a place for your nice ties, something like that. So it's just one big old compartment, which is fine. That probably leads to it being, the capacity being so high, but it would be nice if it had just one or two little compartments in there, either divided up inside the liner or sewn up against the inside or the back side, or even the one of the left or right sides of the bag. That would be nice. Number 4, again, I was kind of racking my brain trying to figure out what I don't like, and my wife came up with this one because she would love to travel with these. She travels some for business, and she would love to travel with it, but it's just way too heavy for her. Way too heavy. She doesn't want to even bother with it. But she always says if these had wheels, she said, I'd take it everywhere. And that makes sense. But again, we know that wheels break, and the one of the claim to fame of these bags is having no zippers that break, and no wheels that break, and no snaps that can start tearing the leather. So that makes sense. But I was talking to her, and I thought, yeah, you know what, that would be nice if these had wheels, some sort of even retractable wheels. But that's never going to happen. But it would be nice to have. And I know you can buy those little luggage racks and strap one of these to it, but now you're carrying something additional. Not just the bag, but now you're carrying the carrier for the bag. And then the last thing that I don't like about these water bags is that I don't have one in dark coffee brown. I am probably going to start searching for it, or put one of the ISO in search of posts on the some of the Saddleback fan pages that I'm on Facebook. So I would love to have one of these in dark coffee brown. So and I will at some point. But anyway, that's the 5 and 5 things I like about the water bags, and 5 things that I do not like about the water bags. First video in the series. More videos will follow. Again, kind of building on the 5 and 5 theme. Guys, let me know if you like this video, if you like that concept, and let me know which bag or bags you want me to do the 5 and 5 on next. And as always, I'll be happy to accommodate any reasonable video request. All right, thanks for watching, guys.